All right, this is the OGS deep water 4-plant system, very popular and an easy form of hydroponics. Very simple. Deep water plants operate in the principle that the roots will grow right down into aerated water. So here we have 4 separate systems, so to speak, working independently, but all working off one adjustable 4-outlet air pump. So again, there's no moving water here or submersible water pumps. We're just using an air pump, and each one of these systems works independently. So you need to check the pH of them, but considering there's only 4 of them, checking the pH of each one individually doesn't create a lot more work. So again, these are easy to manage, forgiving, and really accommodating for any medium to large size plants. And now we'll go over a couple of tips on installing the plumbing for the deep water system. So there's a bit of a trick here to installing this grommet, but the advantage is once we have the grommet in place, it'll be totally water sealed and leak proof. No need for caulking or anything like that. So we've drilled a 3/4 inch hole, which we've done for you in the system, and we're going to install the grommet in there. So some kind of lubrication will help. Anything food grade, cooking oil. I'm going to try some soap and water here and get this grommet in there. So as you can see, the grommet has a cutout in the center, hence it being a grommet. So we're trying to get the flaps on either side of the pail. So a little bit of elbow grease will help to ensure to get it in there. And of course you don't want to push it through, but you just want to gently get the flap on either side. So this will take a little bit of maneuvering and wrestling with it, but that's fine. It's worth all the effort. Got a little screwdriver here, and this will help to hopefully get over in there. Again, I don't want to push the grommet all the way through. There we go, we've gotten the grommet in, and we want to get this 1/2 inch fitting through there too that we're going to hook up the drain hose to. So again, the tendency will be for this fitting to push the grommet all the way through, so you want to put some pressure on the grommet. So I'm holding the grommet on the inside of the pail and then pushing this baby through. So there we go, now we have a waterproof seal to hook up the drain hose that will allow us to drain and check on our water level. And now to quickly go over the transplanting of our seedlings and clones and baby plants. So you can see this one's well established in a 4-inch rock wool cube. We've rinsed the rock through, so it's very important that this clay be rinsed, as it is very dusty and we don't want it to dirty the system and influence the nutrient solution that will be in the pail. I'm going to take some of these rocks out so I can get some room for the root zone of this 4-inch rock wool cube. You don't necessarily have to have your plant already in a 4-inch rock wool cube. You could just have it in a 1-inch cube that it was in before, but the system does include this 4-inch rock wool cube, so again, just gives it a bit of a buffer zone. So I want to gently put it in here without disturbing the root zone too much, and then surround it with some rock. And kind of put a low level of rock over the cube so we don't get a lot of algae growing on the top of the rock wool cube there. So these rocks are round, so they have a tendency to fly around and move, so make sure you don't step on them. And then just gently surround the rock in there. And then you're ready to go. Now you're ready to install it into the pail. Now that we have the grommet and the fitting on, we've also now have the drain tubing on, and we've also marked it to the desired water level. So that should be close to the bottom of the mesh pot here. So initially we're going to have the water level a little bit higher, and then as the root zone merges, we'll have the water level lower. So we've already done our transplant into the rock. We're now going to install the air stone through the lid of the mesh pot here. So we put the air line through and then attach the air stone to the air line, of course, and drop that into the system, and then install the mesh insert, and away we go. So here we have another one already going. You can see the roots of the plants are growing right through the rock, and they'll go right down into this aerated solution down here. And the air stone provides pH stability and lots of useful oxygen for the plant roots. Usually we suggest changing the water in these systems weekly and topping up the water every couple of days or as needed, depending on the size of the root ball and the size of the plants. Again, these are very economical and a good introduction to growing medium to large sized plants.